Hey there, my Stahle crew. Andrew here, and today we're going to be taking a look at school bus safety. Now, now you may ask why I sometimes do these. This is because I never really done a school bus safety video before on my channel. When I attempted it, didn't go so well. So hopefully this one should be a little bit better. When our first segment for today is going to be when it's safe to pass a school bus and when it's not safe to pass a school bus. Starting off with our first topic, we have Allegan County school buses, like Andrew said. Let's go ahead and get this. If you think you're going to enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Tell me what I should do more about. And if you're new, be sure to subscribe. Click that notification bell icon so that way you won't miss any future videos from me, Andrew Stahle. So anyway, to get started, Allegan County school buses by Andrew Stahle. School buses are part of every student's life every Monday through Friday from August through June. But some drivers speed past school buses with flashing 8-way overhead red lights flashing when stop signs are out when they aren't supposed to by state law, because it can get illegal and can get drivers in big trouble with the police or county sheriff here in the USA, because it puts students' life at risk or worse. They're crossing the street in front of the school bus. And the reason drivers pass illegally is because they could be texting on the phones, they could be talking on the phones in a hurry, or running late, or don't really seem to care, or really are not sure when it's safe to pass the school bus and when it's not safe to pass the school bus. So here are some tips for new drivers to know when it's safe to pass the school bus and when it's not safe to pass the school bus. Flashing 8-way overhead lights. When you see a school bus activating its flashing 8-way overhead yellow lights at the top, that means that the bus is about to make a stop on the roadway. So when you see flashing 8-way overhead yellow lights on a school bus, that means you need to start slowing down and being prepared to stop. Now that doesn't mean you try to speed up or get around the bus. When the flashing 8-way overhead yellow lights are flashing, it's just like a traffic light yellow, which means the school bus flashing 8-way overhead yellow lights are flashing. That means slow down and be prepared to stop. Because once the bus does come to a stop and opens its doors, the flashing 8-way overhead red lights will begin flashing. And the stop signs located on the driver's side of the bus will come out and also have flashing lights, and those will also be activated as well. Well, that means all drivers behind the school bus on the opposite side must stop for a school bus with its when it's flashing 8-way overhead red lights and pulls out its stop sign. At least 20 feet away, no matter if you're coming from behind the bus or the opposite direction, all lanes must stop for the school bus when they have their flashing 8-way overhead red lights flashing and their stop signs out. And why? That's signaling drivers that there could be kids, students, crossing in front of that school bus. There could be children crossing in front of the bus. Some take their time, some will dart out. So, on a 2-lane road, or a narrow road, both directions must stop for the school bus when it flashes its flashing 8-way overhead red light and pulls out its stop sign. On a 2-lane road, both directions must stop, even if it's a 2-lane road with a center turn lane. The turning lane does not count as a passing lane. It only counts as a normal turning lane. So both directions, Even though that there's only students getting on or off that school bus, that doesn't mean you can pass that bus. When the school bus, and remember, when the school bus flashing 8-way overhead red lights are flashing and the stop signs are out, you must stop 20 feet and cannot pass that bus. On a 4-lane road, it is the same story. Both directions must stop. Except, the only exception to a 4-lane road is if it's a 4-lane road, a divided 4-lane highway with a raised median dividing the highway. Only the cars traveling in the same direction behind the school bus has to stop for the flashing 8-way overhead red lights and stop signs on that bus. If you're traveling in the opposite direction of the school bus and going from the opposite direction, you can keep going, but just use caution. And remember, all drivers in all lanes are to be remained stopped until the school bus driver cancels the flashing 8-way overhead red lights and the stop signs are pulled in completely. And the bus is either in motion. Now some school buses will pull over to let a couple cars go after their stops. 4-way hazard lights on school buses. Hazard lights are part of a school bus, of a bus driver, and school buses are no exception. At a railroad crossing, school buses have to use their 4-way hazard lights and stop at every railroad crossing by state law. And by law, drivers only have to stop if they are traveling in the... Now, if you see a school bus stop at a railroad crossing, the only time Michigan state law requires drivers to stop is if you are traveling in the same direction as the bus and you are behind that bus. That is the only time you have to stop for a bus at a railroad crossing. Even though that bus has its hazard lights on, that doesn't mean you can pass that bus because there is a solid line and cars and other vehicles can get hit real badly. However, if you're traveling in the opposite direction, going the opposite direction of the bus, you can go, but just use caution. However, the only time that all lanes can pass a school bus when loading or unloading is if a school bus is pulled onto the side of the road or pulled fully off the roadway out to the flow of traffic with a 4-way hazard lights activated, loading or unloading students on the right-hand side, door-to-door stop. So if a school bus is parked on the side of the road or pulled fully off the roadway with its hazard lights on, loading or unloading students on the right-hand side doing a hazard light stop, door-to-door stop, those are the stops you are allowed to pass that bus. Because you know you don't have to worry about any students going in front of you, and you know that you only have students getting on or off that school bus on the same side as the student's home stop. So if a school bus has its hazard lights on as students stop, picking up or dropping off students on the right, those are the times that all drivers can pass that bus, but just proceed with caution. And be careful, because that bus might pull back onto the roadway after the stop, so just be aware of that. And remember, stopping for school buses with its flashing 8-way overhead red lights and stop signs out isn't there to make you late, it's to keep all students safe. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Here, let's take a look at some clips. Get started. This right here is a good example on what I mean. When a school bus is either pulled onto the side of the road or pulled fully off the roadway with its hazard lights on, door-to-door stop, you can pass that bus, just use caution. If it's stopped at a railroad crossing, the only time you have to stop for that bus is if you are behind it. If you're traveling in the opposite direction, you can use caution. Remember, if the flashing 8-way overhead yellow lights are flashing on that bus, slow down, be prepared to stop. Because once the flashing 8-way overhead red lights are activated and the stop sign out, you have to stop 20 feet away. Because there could be students crossing in front of that bus. Like right here, for instance. And remember, stopping for school buses with flashing 8-way overhead red lights isn't there to make you late. It's to keep all students safe. I really hope you guys that is really helpful for you guys. And if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a like and comment down below. And tell me what other ideas you want me to do. Also, if you're new, be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell icon so that way you won't miss any future videos from me. Andrew Stahle. Anyway, I'm Andrew Stahle, signing off. So until next time, I'll see you later, my Stahle crew. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.